One of the interesting things about being here at NAB is you're able to meet with all the key players in the nonlinear editing space. We've chatted with Avid, we've chatted with Adobe, but there's another company begins with an A, and that's Autodesk. I'm delighted to welcome Marc Hamaker. He is the Senior Industry Marketing Manager for Pro Video, which means smoke, actually. It's just a long title that means one thing. Marc, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Larry. It's good to be here. Good to be back at NAB again.
One of the things that you guys announced was Smoke 2015. What's that about?
We did. Well, this is a major update for Smoke. It's actually the first major feature update that we've had since we relaunched the product about a year and a half ago. We're very established at the higher end of finishing and post-production work with our Flame and our creative finishing product line.
What's the new stuff?
So there's a bunch of feature stuff that people are excited about. Well, we're on the new Mac Pro, so everybody's excited about that, and it's very fast, and we're still working to really optimize that.
On the new Mac Pro, we're supporting the GPUs, or?
So we're not supporting the dual GPUs at this point. We're still working with Apple to get all of it in place to do that, but just running on that platform, we're seeing a significant performance increase. That works really well with some of the things we've done to the timeline to really optimize the timeline effects workflow. We've kind of stripped that out and re-architected that, so you still have the power of things like Connect effects, but you can do a lot more at the timeline. We've exposed a lot more of that functionality, and it's actually a lot more GPU optimized and taking advantage of just whatever processing power is in your platform.
Are you finding it difficult to optimize the software for the Mac Pro?
Yeah, I wouldn't say difficult. I just think that machine is it's a different machine, and it just has some unique qualities that we're working on. And like I said, what we're pretty happy about is the performance we're seeing now that we've got the software running on it, and we're really excited about seeing what's going to happen down the road.
Okay, so what else we got?
So the other thing on the feature side that people are excited about is we put a 3D tracker into Smoke. That's something everyone's been asking about. And
now, what's 3D tracker mean?
Yeah, so 3D tracking is the ability to take a shot, like if they had a shot of this and they'd move the camera, and Smoke can actually analyze that and figure out where those points are in space, and then you can create axes on those points. So you could put a bottle on this table, for example, or you could put a different set behind us if we were green screened or if you rotoscoped us out. What's cool about it in Smoke in particular is that our tool set's very native 3D. Like we have 3D lights, we can cast shadows, we can put shapes and objects in. So this is a great way.
Let's back up a step, because I get so easily confused. But there's stereoscopic 3D where you're shooting with two eyes, and then there's 3D meaning you're trying to place it within a dimensional set. Although video just shoots a 2D image.
Yes.
So give me a clue.
So when I say 3D, I mean 3D more in terms of what you might use a Maya to create 3D elements. I'm talking more like CGI. You think of geometry and polygons and lights and shadows. Smoke has a creative area that's in some ways a lot like that. It's not as complicated as a 3D animation application, but for example, you're not just doing flat layered compositing. You have a Z space, and you can have things that are not just flat video layers. You can have depth with it as well.
So if I've got a block, instead of having the block, I can see the edges of the block. I can move around.
You can move around. You have a camera inside of that space.
And it's released or shipping or announced?
It'll be available soon, and then there's one other piece of big news.
Soon? Have you announced when?
Yeah, actually, well, it will be May 8th. This new version should be available.
That's bold. Well, May 8th, that's very strong.
Oh, it'll be there. Don't worry. It'll be there, give or take a day or two. But the other thing we're introducing is that we're changing the business model around Smoke as well. And we're introducing what we call desktop subscription offerings for Smoke. And going forward after this 2015 release, that's going to be the way that we're updating and revving the software.
So a subscription basis, in other words.
A subscription base. What we're doing now is changing it so that, for Smoke, I'll give you the pricing. In the US, it's $195 a month. So you can get Smoke, and that will remain a current version. There's no additional charge, no additional subscription charge to stay current. Or you could opt for a 3-month subscription, which is $545, so it's a little bit cheaper per month, or a 1-year subscription.
So $3,500, so you've dropped the price down to about $2,000 a year.
Yeah, $1,750 a year for that. And the idea is again, it's not necessarily about dropping the price, it's really about access. And we've had these subscription plans, which we called rental plans before, when we introduced them last year for our animation products. And what we're finding is a lot of people want to get in and start using the software. They have a need to use the software, but a $3,500 price, or especially if you look at more than one, it's a barrier to entry.
Very big.
Yeah, so this lets people get in and start using the software at something that's a lot more like an operating expense rather than a significant capital expense.
So we've got support for the new Mac Pro. We've got 3D tracker.
Yep.
And we've got subscription pricing.
Yep, and all new timeline effects workflow, so people will have a much more interactive and more timeline segment-based experience working in the product.
Is the basic interface the same, or have you made
Sure.
major changes to the interface?
Basic interface is the same. We have rolled a few usability changes and enhancements in, some things that should have been there from the beginning. An extension release introduced a trim view, a more traditional trim view, which we now have put into the 2015 version. And we'll continue to do that.
For people that want more information, where can they go on the web?
Autodesk.com/smoke.
That website is AUTO, Autodesk, AUTODESK, Autodesk.com/smoke. And Marc Hamaker is the Senior Industry Marketing Manager for Pro Video for Autodesk. It is always fun visiting with you. Thanks for taking the time to stop by.
I'm glad I was able to make it.
So are we. Take care.